bum, 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 bum. Oh,
Good morning, everybody. Sun is shining.
we're singing in our head. We're dancing.
Chair dance.
Wow, 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 wow.
One of
Good
these days, I'm going to learn
morning.
how to snap my fingers with my left hand.
With your left hand.
Yeah. Well, you know how some people can do it with both?
Uh-huh.
I can barely make noise with my right. And the left is just motion.
Okay. So here we are. Good morning or good afternoon, depending whenever you're watching the
Or good
replay,
evening.
or good evening,
Or
or
good middle of the
whatever.
night.
Middle of the night. Yeah, so here we are, Feng Shui Friday with Anita and Cheryl. Yay!
Hey,
Woo!
woo.
Where
Give
we're
ourselves applause.
learning to use the F word. And before you get us the card for the day, Cheryl, I just want to say, wow, did we ever have a great candid conversation this week with the pink billionaire. So if you have not watched the YouTube channel yet, our flock, because where we're introducing our flock to our flock, you definitely want to watch that. And I think I even put a caution on it, right? Viewer discretion advised. If you don't want to be inspired and uplifted and just, then don't watch it. Then don't watch it. Yeah, viewer caution advised. Because it is surely going to inspire you.
Oh, it was so good. I thoroughly enjoyed that interview with JB. And really, the interview last week with Catherine Collins. And you want to learn some?
Yeah.
Check out Tara's interview as well. We're so excited, right, to introduce the people that have influenced or impacted our lives in one way or another. And truthfully, one of the very impactful people in my life is my partner here. So I'm going to do an interview with her in the near future.
Sure.
We need to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right. So
and the card today is.
The card today is, drum roll please, number 37.
30.
Bathrooms. Bathrooms, which is really funny because right now at the moment the towels are in the wash. I started cleaning my bathtub before this event. So
you're always,
the cards are pulling out whatever's going on in Cheryl's energy field, I'll tell you.
That's what happens. Okay, well, so then tell us about the bathroom, Cheryl.
Well, typically the bathroom, right, is very watery. That's its purpose. It's to eliminate waste. Depending upon where it is in the house, for a lot of people, it's right when you walk in the front door. I've seen that a lot in apartments and condos. For a lot of people, it's in the heart of the house, the center of the house. But because it's a very watery environment, we tend to, through imagery and through magazines, decorate it in a spa feeling, or we want to bring in more water. And that's not always the most helpful situation.
That kind of reminds me of a consult that you and I did a couple of weeks ago with a client. And it's really interesting in Feng Shui how everything is a mirror and it reflects or shows back up. And so Cheryl and I did a virtual consultation with somebody in South America. And the bathroom in their home ended up being in their wealth and prosperity area of their home.
And a huge space.
And it was a huge bathroom. And we talk a little bit about the 5 elements and, what an impact they have on environment as well. And in this particular home assessment, this bathroom that was in the wealth and prosperity area was decorated or enhanced with the water element as we look at it through the 5 element view. And so then it was further enhancing or activating the chi, so that this very watery environment was taking their wealth down the drain. And we've all heard that saying before, I might as well just flush that down the toilet. Oh, poof, that's down the drain, right? And yeah, because it's that swirling energy going down the toilet, down the drain, down. And it's not just the toilet. I mean, it's the
Sink.
the sink, it's the shower, the big bathtub, right? So it was interesting how the one of the reasons that we did the assessment in the first place was because the wealth had just like disappeared out of their life right? It was yeah. So anyways, we gave her some really good suggestions how to, and so Cheryl, what would be a suggestion, what could we offer, just some quick feng shui cures, because again, every situation is unique, and we always say there is no one size fits all. However, with bathrooms, there are a couple of cures that we can offer that anybody, regardless of how your bathroom environment is decorated, that you can utilize in order to keep the chi, keep that good energy in your home. So what would those be?
Well, I would say one of the first things is we want to lift the chi, right? Because it's going down the drain. So we want to lift it. So very simply, one of the round faceted crystals can be hung. And that brings the eye up. It brings the energy up. If you have a curtain in front of your bathtub or your shower, close the curtain. Prevent the chi from going down into the bathtub. Close the toilet lid. I can remember telling my husband, and for years, typical spouse, right?
Yeah.
Shut the toilet lid. Please shut the, when I explained it to him that everything is energy, including money. And if we keep the toilet lid closed, the money's not going down the drain. It was like this light bulb went off for him, and miraculously the toilet lid is kept closed. So those are some real simple things. We can bring in some wood element to start sucking up some of that moisture, right? Some color, some brighter colors in the bathroom, like the fire colors. Again, we're going, like Anita mentioned, into the 5 element theory a little bit to try and balance the yin yang out in the bathroom, because there is already a watery environment, and quite often our appliances are white, which is a metal element. So you've already got a yang abundance of those two, and we want to bring in a little bit of the yin in the earth, in the wood, in the fire elements. I can remember doing a consultation for a lady in a condo a little while ago, and she had a lot of wood in with the metal and the water, which was great. And I said, just to balance it, because she felt a little cold in there, excuse me, bring in a little bit of red or a little bit of the fire. And she happened to have had a poinsettia in one of the other rooms. So I went and grabbed it and just brought it into the room, and it was like instant. Just instantly change the energy of that space. So, and you could do that with hand towels. You could do that with a silk plant, or if your bathroom has windows, bringing in a live plant. Oh, they love bathrooms for the humidity, most of them.
And it's interesting too. Have you ever heard of anybody that has a shitty attitude? I don't know if I can say that word. I just did.
I already did.
Whatever. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
Yeah. And again, it relates to the bathrooms. And I've actually seen this with clients on consultations, where in the master bedroom, where they've had an ensuite, right, a bathroom, and where one of the two people, either the husband or the wife or whatever, had this direct view of the bathroom and or the toilet specifically. And that was kind of like, what they saw, their prominent view from their bed, right?
Yeah, prominent view.
And so when you think about our subconscious mind and how we're programmed and all of those things, and so the last thing that person saw before they went to sleep every night was the toilet. The first thing they saw in the morning when they woke up every morning was the toilet. And believe it or not, in those instances, when I've had those that show up and I've said, hey, does so-and-so have a attitude? And they go, yeah. And it's that energy. We're absorbing it, right? Anyway, so bathrooms really, really important. They're just rooms. They're rooms of functionality. Yes. They are there specifically to help us eliminate bodily waste and clean and cleanse and let go of that stuff, right? So start to think of them that way. Yes, they are still part of our home, but you know what? When they're not in use, keep the door closed. Keep the door closed. Keep the lids closed, because they are rooms of functionality. We need them.
Stoppers in the drains.
Otherwise, we'd be doing the outside toilet thing like we used to do, right? Yeah, we had one of those.
Very familiar with that. So did we.
Yeah, we had one of those, and I'll tell you what, Christmas was a great time because we loved the wrappers from the orange thing. That was better than toilet paper. Anyways, that's a whole other story. Okay, look at us go already. Anything else we want to say about bathrooms?
No, well, not that I can think of at the moment, but actually, when you're faced, so say you live in an apartment or a condo, and again, that's what you're being greeted by when you walk in the door. What Anita said, just close the door.
Yeah. Don't bring the attention or the awareness. Don't direct people's energy or traffic first thing into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you want to welcome them into your home.
And imagery. So the image behind Anita with the bamboo and the earth tones and the red.
Yes.
Perfect in a bathroom, because that wood, the bamboo, soaks up all that moisture.
Yep.
So it's a real help. Same with this.
Yep.
Right. So it just gives them a few tips for bathrooms. But let's talk about the 37, the number, because we both know that boils down to a 10. And then a 1, because in numerology, we always want to bring it down to a single digit when possible.
And it is interesting because today is a 9 day, and 9 is about completion, and then 10 comes after 9, right? And then we take off the 0 and we have a number 1.
Yes.
So number 1 is about new beginnings, and the universe is always talking to us, always speaking to us in ways of numbers, or we hear a song, or we see a certain image or something. The universe is always speaking to us in those ways, and it's up to us to stop and pay attention. And again, so today might be a day where you go, one person can make a difference in your life.
Absolutely.
Shifting one thing can make a difference. In our 21-day decluttering class that we're currently doing, the other night, Cheryl, mentioned something about, what can you do in 1 minute? And there's a lot of things you can do in 1 minute. And actually, I was watching the Olympic swim qualifying on television the other night, because our one of our sons is a amazing swimmer, and he could be an Olympian swimmer. Anyway, so I was watching that, and here are these young men, just like my son. They're just chiseled right up, and they love to swim, and they're doing 200 meters, right? 200 meters in a swimming pool, and their qualifying time is 1 minute and 35 seconds. Right. So anyways, that whole minute thing is great. So bringing us back to the number 1, what one thing can you do today to shift your energy? Maybe it's to get in heart coherence. Maybe it's to declutter one drawer. Maybe it's just to spend time in nature and put your feet on the ground and feel Mother Earth. So yeah, love the number one, and the opportunity to start anew, something, right?
You
A
can
new
shift.
beginning.
Yeah, you can
Mhm.
shift your attitude in a minute.
Yeah.
You can really smile at someone you haven't smiled at before.
Yeah,
Like, have you
there's,
ever tried to hold a smile for a minute? That's a long time to actually hold a smile.
oh, I don't know. I'm sure we can do it.
Well, I'm trying it right now.
Yeah.
So let's see how it goes. But point being, in a minute, you can actually shift whatever is going on in your life. You can stop that conversation in your head that's been going on for
Yeah.
hours or possibly days. You can ask for help in a minute. And you can do some appreciation in a minute.
Yeah. Okay, well, we haven't got any big comments here today. So, there's no questions. They're just loving
They're
us.
enjoying it.
It is a beautiful day. Again, I just want to tell everyone that jump on over to our flock, take some time, listen to those candid conversations. And, we have some amazing guests that we have scheduled for the coming weeks. And of course, once a week, we're going to pop on a new guest on our flock channel, on our flock YouTube channel. And of course, we'd love for you to subscribe, and then you'll know when there's a new candid conversation posted there, right?
And they are so fun. But hey, how can they not be?
Well, hello.
It's us. It's us.
Oh, okay.
You can toot your own horn in a minute.
Yeah, we're gonna sing our way out.
We're gonna dance our way out of here.
I guess so. Okay, everybody have a fabulous Friday. Fabulous Friday, a great weekend.
Fabulous. The F word for the day. Frequency.
Yeah, fabulous, fantabulous. Yeah, so just remember, what can you do in a minute? What can you do to restart? Take that number one and close the bathroom door.
And close them. Yeah, especially for number one.